I was so little that I didn't understand what was going on.
They just came to my house one day and then they told my mom that they're gonna take us away.
If I didn't have her, I would be all alone.
Feeling like you're all alone in the world. That really hurts.
All I remember was being taken away.
I was crying.
I felt the pride.
I didn't know anybody else.
I dreamed about having a family.
She kept me alive.
Nobody cared.
I felt like I was helpless.
Knowing that you have nowhere to go.
I felt really hopeless.
I don't like talking about it.
Hey, I know this is hard.
I don't like talking about my past.
I know. The minute that he even thinks that he has to think about what happened to him in the past and how different that is from what he experiences now in my family, he falls apart.
I never knew why I was put in foster care. I felt like it was my fault. When I was so little that I didn't understand what was going on.
I was only like 4 or 5 years old, and I felt the pride. You know, they took me from my mom.
They just came to my house one day and then they told my mom that they're gonna take us away.
All I remember was being taken away and putting into shelters.
Imagine being a 6-year-old child, being woken up in the middle of the night, being ripped from the only home they know, being put in the back of a police vehicle and being brought to an office. All of their life as they know it has completely crumbled. And then in the middle of the night, they get picked up again, and they get moved again.
Christopher was in 5 different foster placements before he moved into my home.
I've been placed too many places. I'll say over 20, well over 20.
I didn't know where I was gonna go. I was tossed home to home all the time.
I couldn't concentrate right because I was always like moving around, so it was either like having a different school or studying something different in each place that I went to. What's the point of me doing homework? I don't know if I'm still gonna be here tomorrow. I'm probably gonna be somewhere else or in another house.
Moving from place to place, never having an adult that they can rely on. What happens to these kids is unimaginable psychological abuse that kills these kids day by day.
Oh man, knowing that you have nowhere to go, that really hurts. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like you're all alone in the world.
When I was in foster care, I used to sit in my room and just stay there all day.
There are over 500,000 children in foster care in this country, and those children who've already been abused and neglected and are traumatized already by just being removed from their homes are being traumatized every day by the systems that are mandated to protect them.
I remember my very first foster home. She had these 2 big dogs, and whenever I do something wrong, she'd sit me in the middle of them and let them growl at me.
I was abused in the shower, my head put down the toilet. They put hot peppers in my mouth and soap, so actually I don't like hot things anymore because of that.
I was given 3 grocery bags full of medicine when he was discharged, and I realized that no child should be on this amount of medication if it's really not necessary, and I questioned whether it was really, truly necessary.
If I were in direct conversation with a child that had gone through multiple abuse, I'd want to apologize in ways and in terms that the child would understand, because the system has failed that child.
We put them in that place that's supposed to be safe, where they're raped, where they're brutalized, where they're physically damaged, emotionally damaged, and then we want to return them back to their parents. Or they languish in care for years, and then we turn them loose.
The cost of it, of course, is people who will live on welfare at best, who will be in the criminal justice system at worst.
That child has no resources. What can she sell but herself?
I was gonna start college in September, but I might not have a house or an apartment.
All my life, I can honestly say that I've had to try to manage my anger, and it's been tough.
Now, it's still hard for me to trust people because of all that. I know that I can trust my family, but with other people in life, it's hard for me to still trust them.
My biggest fear is for me to be homeless.
At 18 years old, you want a child saying, I'm going to be a doctor, a lawyer, I'm going to be an actress, I'm going to be a musician, I'm going to be an oceanographer, I'm going to be a veterinarian, I'm going to be someone, something, not I'm going to be homeless.
Family values is touted on a day-to-day basis by the politicians, and it means nothing because they never put their money where their mouth is.
Without class action litigation, when they really need it, when nothing else will work, these systems won't get fixed.
It is possible to make government systems accountable for these kids. These systems are fixable. That's what we do.
Instead of helping 1 or 2 children, these lawsuits require an entire state to change this child welfare system.
Children's rights had us in court, which I believe they were doing the right thing, we were not, and we needed to get on a right track.
If children's rights was not here for me to access, to say, help me solve some of the problems we're facing, it would be left on me in my organization of 5.8 people.
We get calls from advocates, responsible advocates in states around the country imploring us to come and help them fix their systems. And we just don't have enough staff to do all of that.
Children's rights is at a crucial phase in its existence. It can do so much more than it is doing now. It can expand into so many areas of child welfare that it has not yet been able to touch because of lack of resources.
I think children's rights is absolutely essential to making sure that the voiceless, or very small voices, are heard in this process.
When I was in foster care, I dreamed about having a family. I never thought it could come true.
My dream right now is just to be a detective or a radiologist, so either one is good.
I want to write, I want to dance, I want to be a lawyer. The sky's the limit, you know what I'm saying? I want to do everything that I can in my young life.
I want to say to all the kids that don't give up, because there's still hope out there for you.